Dhamma, the virtues of the Dhamma, the greatness of the Dhamma is beyond comparison. Now the Dhamma was given to you by the Buddha, not me. The Buddha is the master. So for someone to have shared with this teaching with us, he without having any teacher, we know how much our lives have changed thanks to our teachers. But remember, the Buddha had no teacher. So to have uncovered, to have discovered a path to liberation, the path to salvation without a teacher, now that is something truly remarkable. So it's through the transformation that has happened in your lives, I want you to see the Buddha. Not standing up here looking at the statue. This is not the Buddha. I dare to say, this is not the Buddha. This is just a statue. This is not the Buddha. If you tell me this is the Buddha and worship this, I'm more than prepared to. Because this is not the Buddha. That's not the Buddha. Even if you were to bring the Buddha in person in front of me, that's not the Buddha. That's just his body. That's just the physical being. But the Buddha is the great qualities that changed my life. Do you understand what I'm saying? The Buddha is a collection of the great qualities that changed my life. I think I shared this story with you a couple of weeks ago. A gentleman came and said to me that one of his smart goals for the new year is to be able to respect all monks the same. To be respectful towards all monks. I think I shared this story with you last week if I remember. And for him the challenge is that he knows of the monks who live close by to where his home is, or the temple that is local to him. Apparently they are not all that virtuous. So that is his, that's what he makes of them. They're not all that virtuous, but he wants to give an alms. He wants to give an alms given to the monks, and he's asking me, Swaminatha, how can I make my mind up to invite them? At which point I explained to him, sir, the monk is not the Mahasangha. And if I remember, this is when I asked him, I pointed at some monks who were in the Dhamma hall at the time and said, can you show me the Mahasangha? Which one of them is the Mahasangha? Because you can't point your finger at the Mahasangha. Can you show me generosity? Where is it in this room? Can you show me kindness? Because these are qualities. You can't point your finger at that. You can only point your finger at a person. The Mahasangha is, or the Sangha Ratna, which is one of the Noble Triple Gems, is a collection of virtues. It's a collection of great qualities. We must all strive to instill those qualities within ourselves. The qualities of the Buddha, the qualities of the Dhamma, and the qualities of the Sangha. We must all strive to instill them within us. So what about then those men and women who wear robes? What you see is people who have dedicated their lives to instilling those values within themselves. Others who are in white, or people who live a lay life, they strive to do it the best they can while living a lay life. Whereas those who come forth, or go forth and become monks or nuns, they have dedicated their entire lives, their livelihood entirely to instilling those values within themselves. So that is the difference. But the Mahasangha is not in the robe. That you must understand. So similarly, the Buddha is not in the statue. The Buddha is not in the body of the Gautama. The Buddha is a set of virtues, an infinite set of virtues, and that is what we pay our reverence to. Okay? So Buddha Anusati is that. So here's what you need to do, practically. When we start the session, which is what we'll be doing in a couple of minutes' time, I'm going to keep to my word of keeping the talking down and letting you actually focus on your meditation today. So we're going to start it off in about a couple of minutes' time. What you'll be doing practically is first, take a bird's eye view of yourself and travel back in time. What's it called? A kaleidoscope? Yeah, so you travel back in time. You travel back in time and look at yourself. The kind of person you used to be. Go back as far as you can remember. You don't have to go back to your childhood. If it's 5 years you can remember, then go back 5 years. If it's 10, 15, 20 years, then go back that time. Think about the things that you used to do. Perhaps things that you're not proud about. Things that you would never even share with your closest friend. Things that you wouldn't want your spouse to find out about. Things that you would never share with your parents. Your closely guarded secrets. Ask yourself, why is it that you have secrets? Do you think the Buddha had secrets? No, the Buddha does not have secrets. There are certain things he didn't share with others, and that's only because it was of no use to them. The great elders Sariputta, Kashyapa, Mahamoggallana, they had no secrets because their lives were open for examination. You could come and inspect them and you wouldn't find any dirt within them. You wouldn't find any flaws within them. Lives were open bare, open for inspection to anybody. You may be becoming such kind of person, but you do know for a fact that that's not the kind of person you used to be. Would you be willing to share your deepest secrets, the kind of person you used to be 10 years ago, with your closest friend? There'll still be secrets, things that you wouldn't want to share. And that's because there are things you're not proud about. But now, thanks to the Dhamma, your lives have changed so much that there are very few secrets, if any. One of the things that our teachers teach us is conduct your day-to-day lives such that at the end of the day, if someone comes and asks you, monk, how have you lived your life, your day-to-day? Khatam bhutasya me rattindiva viti patantiti pabbajitena abhinham pacchavekkitabbam. One of the commandments of the Buddha. He says, you got to live your day such that when a teacher comes and asks you, tell me, monk, how you have lived your day today. How have you lived your day today? How have you spent your days and how have you spent your night? You should be able to spell it out to them minute by minute, second by second, and you should never feel that, oh, I've just done something I can't share with you. That's how clean your life has to be. The days that you spend has to be. And that will happen when the Dhamma touches your lives and transforms you. I believe that that is happening for all of you. But only you know it for sure. So, what I want you to do now then is go back into your past. Retrospect. Go back into your past. Look at those moments in your life where things you've done. I'm not proud of that. These are not things I'd want anybody to do. These are not things I'm proud of. But those kind of things I don't do anymore today. Today I'm more virtuous. The things I used to think about, I don't think about today. The things I used to say, I don't say today. The things I used to do, I don't do today. Particularly the 10 unmeritorious deeds. When was the last time you killed even a tiny insect? Chances are it'll be a long time ago. That's great. See how much you have changed? I know when I was, 10 years ago, killing an ant, killing a mosquito, killing a fly, I wouldn't think twice about it. We had a fly swatter at home. And it was fun for me to kill flies. Killing flies was a game to me. Killing ants was entertainment. Killing a mosquito, you wouldn't think twice. That's the kind of person I used to be. But I'm not that kind of person today. Today I would rather give my life than take the life of somebody else or something else. And I think you will all feel that way about yourselves. Taking the life of another person, another being, is not something you would consider even in a nightmare. Not in your wildest imagination would you consider taking somebody else's life or something else's life, another animal's life, another being's life. What changed you? You got to ask the question, right? What changed you? How come? Well, if you ask me that question, the answer is the Dhamma changed me. The Dhamma that was given to me by the Supreme Buddha. That is what changed me. I don't do such things today through fear of the apayas. I don't care much for that. I don't not do them because of the fear of falling into the hells. I don't do them today because I don't see the value in taking somebody else's life. There's no point in doing it. And of course, through benevolence to others. If I feel the pain of death, then others must feel the pain of death equally. So today you are able to look at it that way. Under what circumstances might you consider killing someone? Under what circumstances? See, you've changed. And there may be some among you, perhaps parents who still have young children. Even if someone might come and threaten the life of your child, you might be in a state today where even under such circumstances would you not be willing to lay a hand on another person. There might be parents like that among you. And if you have come that far, wow, that's incredible. That's genius, that's amazing. If you have managed to come that far. I'm talking about the kind of, this is the kind of person who's close to becoming an arahant. Because to parents, their children are the most doted, most precious things. So for a parent to be able to say, Swaminathan, even if someone would come and threaten the life of my child, I would never harm that person. I would never hurt them. I would try and save my child, but I would not fight back. I would not hurt them or take their life in revenge. Ask yourself if you are that kind of person, if you have been able to get there. If not, well, don't you worry. If you follow the path that you have been following up until now, you will get there. And I'm certain of that. So this transformation has happened within you. In your workplace, or at home, right? Perhaps in those times you didn't think twice about taking something that didn't belong to you. You were quite easily offering excuses. It's okay to take from them because they have plenty. It's alright, they won't even know that we've taken something. Perhaps that's the kind of person you used to be, but today you don't do that anymore. You don't do that. Stealing. What's stealing is what you ask. Stealing? What's that? It's not even in your vocabulary today. When was the last time you stole something? When was the last time you took something that didn't belong to you? When I was a child, I used to go and steal milk powder from the kitchen. When my mother wasn't at home, go to the kitchen, get some milk powder. I used to, not that she would ever stop me if I wanted it, but I enjoyed stealing. It was fun. It was quite entertaining. Walking in, checking if anyone's watching, right? Getting some milk powder onto a saucer, and going hiding myself somewhere, and I would lap it up. That's the kind of person I used to be. Not anymore. Not anymore. I remember when I was much younger, walking into a shop, and if I was ever given extra change that I don't deserve, I would quietly pocket it and walk back home. Quite happy about the fact that I've managed to walk away with a few extra rupees in my hand. How disgusting. How sad. Perhaps you were the same. When the clerk totals up your bill and they bag it all up for you, and you take the bill home, and as you walk out into the car park to get into your car, you scan your receipt and you find out, hey, I've got this item in my bag, but it's not on the receipt. So you know that you managed to walk out with something that you haven't paid for. Previously, before the Dhamma came into your lives, you were like, yay, bargain. But now, you're not like that. Now, you'd walk back. You'd walk back into the store, say, excuse me, you haven't charged me for this. Either take it back or charge me the money. Isn't that who you are now? See, something like that, you would not say that. You would not be proud of something like that. The kind of person you used to be. But today you are able to walk back into the store and actually tell the person, this item I didn't pay for. Please take it back or charge me what it is that I ought to pay for this. See how you have changed? So what's changed you? The Dhamma's changed you. Sensual or sexual misconduct, didn't think twice about it. But now, it's not like that. Now if you feel sensuality, when you're looking at something or someone, you feel a sense of fright and fear. But back then, you saw an opportunity. Engaging in sensual misconduct was a pastime for you back then, but now, not so. You wouldn't think in your wildest imaginations about doing something like that. So you stepped away from unmeritorious deeds. You wouldn't even consider doing them. Lying just came automatically to you. You wouldn't think twice about lying. but not anymore. You daren't lie at all. Lying is the last thing you want to do. And even if it's a white lie, you ask yourself 100 times, should I say this, should I not say this, should I be saying this? Surely this is bad to say, I shouldn't be saying this. But back then, you didn't think twice about it. You didn't think about how it might make the other person feel. Backstabbing, backbiting, things that you used to do, but not anymore. Harsh speech, hurting other people with words, shouting at them, making them feel so small, ridiculing people, using sarcasm to hurt them, things that you used to do, but not anymore. Why? The Dhamma has transformed you. You used to see other people delighting in the things that they used to have, and you used to think to yourself, oh, why them? Ought to be me instead. How come they always get the good stuff? Why don't I get it? I deserve it more than them. Were things that you used to feel, but not anymore. Because today you realize that there is nothing in this world that is worthy of becoming. There is nothing in this world that is worthy of having, because there is nothing in this world that can ultimately bring any pleasure. So, you have transformed, and that is because of the Dhamma. And that Dhamma was given to you by the Supreme Buddha. This is the Buddhanusati. So when you reflect on this, folks, you will be able to experience an immense amount of joy, reflecting on what a great person you have become today. So this is patting yourself on the back. You don't need somebody else to do that. Pat yourself on the back. Congratulate yourself. Congratulations and celebrations, remember? You don't need somebody else to do that. Do it yourself. This is how you ought to do it. Okay? So we're going to be doing Buddhanusati now for a few moments. Go back in time, see the kind of person you used to be, and then come back to the present. Now check the difference. This difference is because of the Buddha, because of his teaching, and because of the Mahasangha, who has helped make this transformation within me. And as you reflect on those qualities, you ask yourself, wow, these great qualities, how do I instill them within myself? If I could become more of who I am today, I want to become more of what? Who I am today. I want to become more of that. I want to become more of who I am becoming today. This transformation has happened because of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha, and I want to become more of that. Okay? So this is what we are going to be contemplating on before we move on to the next session. Because before we do anything, I want you all to feel that you have actually accomplished something. On that platform only can we take the next step. I want you all to realize how much you have actually been able to achieve. What you have managed to do today is not simple things, folks. Remember that. You might... Here's the thing, right? When you come to the monastery, it may be that who you're comparing yourself with is the Swamin Wahanses. You look at the Swamin Wahanses and think, oh God, when will we ever be able to do what they're doing? It's okay to do that, but then oftentimes you forget that the real person you need to compare yourself to is who? The person you used to be. The person you used to be. That's who you ought to be comparing yourself to, not the Swamin Wahanse. The Swamin Wahanse should be comparing himself to who he or she used to be. So we don't need to compare ourselves against somebody else. Just look at yourself and compare yourself to who you used to be. Because otherwise, you don't feel that you have accomplished anything. Whereas I am sat here and I know the stories you come and share with me. And oftentimes I think to myself, wow, I hope this gentleman realizes how much he has changed, because what he's telling me now is not what he told me 6 months ago. What this lady is coming and telling me now is not what she told me a year ago. Seriously, the stories you come and tell me, they have changed. They have changed. You're not telling me the same stories you used to tell me. The victories that you're coming and sharing with me, they have changed. You're coming now and talking about great victories. See, I'm able to observe, I'm able to see that change, but you don't see that change because you're seeing it every day. So you don't see a big delta. I see that. I want you now to go back in time, look at who you used to be, now consider who you are now, and consider this difference, and that you need to attribute to the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Okay, so let's do that for a few moments. And fear not, you deserve that joy. Unreservedly experience that joy and enjoy it. Unreservedly, unashamedly. That's yours to keep. You deserve it. You bought it. You got it. You deserve it. Experience it. Enjoy it. This is Priti. Priti Sambojjhanga. One of the factors of enlightenment. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Now, with your eyes closed, I want you all to reflect on what I am about to say. This is about you. This is about your journey. This is about where you are today. This is about how you have changed. This is your transformation on your journey to becoming a child, a son or a daughter of the Supreme Buddha. Taking the life of another, hurting others, harming others, inflicting pain and injury onto others was something that only came naturally to me. I wouldn't think twice. For my comfort, for my ease, hurting another creature, harming another person, inflicting pain on another being was so easy to do. I wouldn't think twice about it. Others would fear my presence. To have it my way, I would do whatever it took. To have things the way I want, it wouldn't matter what the cost of it was to others, how much other people would be hurt, how much other beings would be hurt, the members of my family, those around me, my co-workers. It would not matter to me. how much pain they had to suffer and endure for my gain and my well-being. But that is now a thing of the past. That is who I used to be. I am that person no more. The very thought of who I used to be sounds so foreign to me now. There's not the simplest resemblance. I have changed. I am now different, as if I have come anew into this world. I have received a new birth. I struggle to relate to the person I used to be. That is not me anymore. Today, others look forward to my presence. Today, others look to being with me. They enjoy my presence because they know that no harm can come to them when I am around. In that transformation, I have been able to become a fountain of joy to all those around me. Others don't see me as a source of pain and agony anymore. Today I am able to share joy in abundance with everybody around me. This is because I have changed. I am no longer who I used to be. I have transformed. A new person, a new being. Today I am a child of the Perfect One. Today I am a child of the Omniscient One. Today I am a child of the infinitely virtuous One. He whose compassion knows no bounds. He who is the fountain of compassion. He is my Father, and I am His child. He has changed my life forever. He has shown me compassion. He has shown me how to be compassionate towards all beings, to empathize with the suffering of all others, and only to be of help to others, and never to be a source of pain and agony to others. I refrain today from taking the life of another being, never to engage in that ever again. This is my solemn vow to the Supreme Buddha, who is my Father. Taking that which didn't belong to me was something that would come naturally to me. It did not matter the cost of that to others. It did not matter that when someone else whose belonging I would take without their knowledge would find out that what they so loved and adored had gone missing, would fall into despair. None of that mattered to me. Their pain did not matter to me. All I cared about was my happiness. at the expense of others would not matter to me. Taking material possessions of others without their knowledge was perfectly fine by me. Taking positions of authority that only really belonged and was deserved by others didn't really matter to me. If that was what made me happy, I would have it. People feared my presence. So much so that when I was around, others would leave. My presence disgusted others. When I would look at them, they would look away. Cheating used to come naturally to me. Cheating others of what they rightfully deserved. Cheating others of the rank that they deserved. Cheating others of the position that they deserved. Cheating others of their material possessions. Cheating my friends, which ended up them being my enemies, my foes. Cheating my husband, cheating my wife. Destroying all trust that they had put in me. It didn't matter to me. All I wanted was what I wanted. At what cost, none of that mattered to me. But all of that is a thing of the past. I can hardly relate to any of that now. None of that resembles who I am today. As if I have been reborn. All of that is as if it was from a previous life. That is me no longer. Today I am very different. I have changed. Changed beyond imagination and changed beyond compare. I have transformed into an Arya, one whose presence is only a delight to others, one who only gives and never asks in return, one who is a source of joy and happiness to others, never a source of pain, agony, and distrust to others. I have changed, never to go back to my old ways. And that is because today I am a child of the infinitely virtuous one. I am a son of the great Master. I am a daughter of the infinitely compassionate one. He who is the teacher of kindness, he who is the master of generosity, he whose way is only to give and never to ask in return. Today I am a child of the Supreme Buddha. I refrain from taking what it is that is not given to me and what does not belong to me. That is a vow that I have taken, and a vow that I will solemnly abide by till the very end. Indulgence in sensual delights was synonymous with me. It was all I ever wanted in life, to keep enjoying, going after and pursuing sensual pleasures and sensual delights, seeking every opportunity to please my eyes, please my ears, my nose and my tongue, and my body. It did not matter at what cost and at whose expense. It did not matter how many people I had to hurt. It did not matter that the person I was seeking such delights from already belonged to somebody else. It did not matter how many hearts had to be broken, how many families had to be broken. All I wanted was what I wanted. If I got it my way, it did not matter, even if half of the world had to be heartbroken, had to be put into despair. All I cared was my sensual pleasures and my sensual delights. In seeking sensual pleasures, I used to indulge in activities that only one could do in secrecy. Things that I could never imagine about sharing with somebody else. Things that I would only do behind closed doors. Things that had someone found out and would ask me, I would have no response but to look down in shame and in disgust. That life of old I have shed away. Like removing old clothes and throwing it away in the fire to be burned and never to be taken back. I have thrown away that life. That indulgence in sensual pleasure. Today I see the meaningless nature of it. Today I realize that seeking such pleasures at others' expense is all but meaningless. And that is because today I have changed. I am different. I am very different. Today I am a son of the infinitely virtuous one. I am a daughter of the infinitely compassionate one. He who shun away sensual delights, sensual pleasures, as meaningless, useless, essenceless, and with disgust. Today I am his child. He is my master, and he is my father. Having left behind a meaningless life of sensual pleasures and sensual pursuits, today I live in a beautiful bliss, I enjoy the ultimate bliss of letting go and the peace and calm that comes with that. Things that I used to do behind closed doors with fear and fright, lest I be found out, I do no more, and therefore along with that have gone fear and fright once and for all. Today I am open and honest and can be read like an open book. I have nothing to hide, no secrets. I'm open like the clear blue sky. Anyone can come and inspect me, and I have nothing to hide, nothing to fear and nothing to worry. This is because I have taken refuge of my Father, the Supremely Enlightened One, the Perfect One, the Magnificent One, the Omnipotent One, the Omniscient One. I refrain from indulgence in sensual delights, sensual pleasures, once and for all, as I see their meaninglessness, as I have seen their essencelessness, as I have seen their emptiness. People don't fear my presence anymore. Husbands don't fear my presence. Wives don't fear my presence. Mothers don't fear my presence. Fathers don't fear my presence. Because they know that I bring no harm, no threat to their family. Today they know that nothing but good can happen to their family and to them through my association. This is because I have taken refuge of the Perfect One. He whose virtue knows no bounds. He whose virtue is infinite like the infinite universe. Lying, backbiting, slanderous speech, and harsh speech were things that were quite normal to me. People used to know me for my bad mouth. So much so, when I opened my mouth to speak, others would turn away. Others would close their ears, and others would even walk away. So much so that if people knew that I was there, they wouldn't even come. That used to be my reputation. A bad mouth. Through the power of speech, I broke families. I tore up loving couples. I destroyed good relationships, made friends enemies. I could destroy people's lives with nothing but the words that used to come flowing freely out of my mouth. The words that used to come out of my mouth were a curse to the people whose ears it would touch. I used to lie about everything. I used to use harsh words to tear people down, to send their lives into hell, to burn them up, to destroy them. How many lives might I have destroyed? How many people's hearts might I have broken? How many people might I have shattered just by using the words that came out of my mouth? But thankfully, that is all but a thing of the past. That is only who I used to be, not who I am today. I can't even relate to that person. It seems that person was imaginary. I can't believe that that person even used to exist. I have changed so much. I have changed beyond imagination. Today people come to me knowing that if they come to me as enemies, they will walk away as friends. A stark difference to how things used to happen. They used to come to me as friends and walk away as enemies. Today, they come to me as enemies and walk away as friends. I am able to heal people today with the power of my speech. I am able to mend broken hearts. I am able to do good things and great things to help people heal themselves. To help a fallen man stand back up on his 2 feet, to give him strength and courage and determination, and send him on the right path, guide him to his own deliverance. All that I am able to do today, thanks to my great Master. None other than the Supreme Buddha. He has changed me. I cannot imagine what I might have become had it not been for the mercy of the infinitely merciful One. The kindness, the generosity that He expounded towards me and all other beings. The infinitely compassionate one, the infinitely virtuous one. Today I am his son and I am his daughter. He is my father. And I know that today he will be proud to call me his child. Because through my speech, I only do good to all of humanity. I can't recall the last time I shouted at someone. I can't recall the last time I used harsh speech to tear someone up. To destroy his confidence, to hurt their feelings. That is not me anymore. Today I am a healer. I am a healer of broken hearts. I bring peace into people's lives. This is all thanks to the great Master, to the Supreme Buddha, who has changed me, who has transformed me. He whose greatness knows no bounds. He whose compassion knows no bounds. He whose kindness is infinite. Not a million mothers, not a million fathers put together can amount to the infinite virtue of the Supreme Buddha. And today, I am his daughter, I am his son. Therefore, in his presence, I vow solemnly to refrain from false speech, to refrain from slanderous speech, to refrain from frivolous speech, to refrain from harsh speech till the very end. I shed this away, never to pick them back up again. Never will I lie again. Never will I hurt anyone's feelings through my words. Never will I break people up. Never will I cause stress and strain to other people's relationships. Never. The joy that I share with others, I am able to experience. The joy that I give to others come back to me. The happiness that I bring into other people's lives keep coming back to me. In healing others' wounds, today I am healed. In bringing happiness to others' lives, today I am happy. In mending broken hearts, today I am mended. In showing others the path to ultimate bliss, today I am in ultimate bliss. And this is all because of the Supreme Buddha. Every bit of it. He is my master. He is my teacher. He is the light that I shall follow to the very end. His greatness knows no bounds. His infinite virtue knows no bounds. His infinite compassion knows no bounds. I am but a child in His arms. Anger, hatred, malice, and I used to be best friends. I recall the days when every day was like a living hell. Everything would stir up anger within me, every little thing. A leaf falling from a tree could simply boil me. One wrong word that slips out of the tongue of someone else could send me into a frenzy. I was so restless. I was so angry, full of hatred. People would fear me like they would fear a beast, a wild beast. Was I even human? I had very few friends. People didn't like me. People didn't want to talk to me. People feared me. I used to be known as he or she who could wound people simply by a word. That's how much anger I had in my mind and deep down in my heart. This anger used to burn me inside out. Sleepless nights I used to have through hate boiling inside of me. Cursing someone was nothing new to me. Swearing at somebody in my mind was something I could do quite easily. I would never wish well upon others. I would only wish pain and suffering on others. But that is not me anymore. I could never be happy seeing others enjoying what they had rightfully deserved. I always wanted what they had. I wished that their sources of joy would be mine and not theirs. I always wanted what they had. I always wanted more. I always felt that it is I who always deserved everything and not anybody else. It would unsettle me to see how others would get things better than I would. How others would become successful. How others would go places but I couldn't. How others would achieve things but I couldn't. That would always unsettle me and make me mad, make me angry. Sentiments of jealousy and malice were all but too familiar. mind used to be a cesspit. The feelings of anger and envy and jealousy, all of that inside. A cesspit. A rotting cesspit. No wonder people didn't like me. People used to walk away. But all of that is a thing of the past. Today I am very different. Today I have changed. I have changed so much. The Buddha has touched my life. He has blessed me with his teaching. He has transformed me. He has given me the gift of Dhamma. All the false views, the wrong views that I used to have, so adamant about them, unwilling to change the ways I used to think. All of that is a thing of the past. Today I realize how wrong I was. I used to think that I knew it all and everybody else had to learn from me. Today I realize that I know nothing. I know nothing. I am today and forever will be a student. I'm an open book, always willing to learn from others, always willing to hear what others have to say, embracing the weaknesses that others show me, always willing to hear my weaknesses and my faults from others, welcoming them and grateful for their kindness. Wow, what a change. All this because of him. All this because of the Perfect One. All this because of the infinitely virtuous One. He has changed me beyond my wildest imagination. He has changed me beyond any recognition, as if I have been reborn as an Arya. I have shunned away the ways of Pruthajjana, and I have entered the realms of an Arya. The Buddha is today my master. His teaching is the light that I follow. His Mahasangha is my constant guidance, always keeping me right on track, showing me the path to my deliverance. My presence is today a blessing to everyone that comes to me. I only bring joy and happiness to every soul that I touch. Friends come to me and walk away best of friends. Enemies come to me and walk away friends. My presence on this world is only a blessing. This is all because I am a daughter, I am a son of the Great Master. I am so grateful that he has adopted me. He has taken me on as his child, to look after me, to care for me, and to show me the path. Henceforth, I seek no refuge from anybody else or anyone else. My refuge is entirely with the Supreme Buddha. My refuge is entirely with his teaching, that is the Dhamma. My refuge is entirely with his disciples, and that is the Mahasangha. From this day forward, up until the day I fulfill my ambition of becoming an Arahat, shedding away all defilements, cleansing my mind of all defilements, and being a blessing on all human beings, all divine beings, and every sentient being in this entire universe. Till that day, Natti me saranang anyam, Buddho me saranang varam. Natti me saranang anyam, Dhammo me saranang varam. Natti me saranang anyam, Sangho me saranang varam. Natti me saranang anyam, Nibbana paramang sukham. Etam santam, etam panitam, yadidam sabba sankhara samato, sabbupati pati nisagngo, tanhakayo virago, nirodho nibbananti, kinam puranam navannati sambhavam, viratta citta ayatike bhavasmin, te kina bija avirulhichanda, nibbanti dhira yathayam padipo, nibbanti dhira yathayam padipo, nibbanti dhira yathayam padipo. Okay. Ready? So that is Buddhanusati. Hopefully you are able to do what I asked you to do, which is to go back and come to the present. Because when you do that, you begin to realize how much the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha have been of help to you. And you realize that there is no one and nothing else whose refuge that I seek today, whose association I seek today. And then you begin to realize how blessed you are. Something I always try to remind you, how blessed you are, how fortunate you are, how incredibly fortunate you are to be where you are today, to have received the Buddha into your lives, to have received the Dhamma and to have received the Sangha.